April 17, 2020, the World Health Organization, WHO, released a document that was named Coronavirus Disease 2019 COVID-19 Situation Report number 88. A lot of information were on this report. I think it's about 12 pages. I'll be specific on this strategic objective that WHO highlighted as responses to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. In this document, WHO highlighted 6 strategic objectives as a response. 1. Interrupt human-to-human transmission, including reducing secondary infections among close contacts and healthcare workers, preventing transmission, amplification events, and preventing further international spread. Now, this is very simple and very straightforward. It is established. It is a known fact that COVID-19 is human-to-human transmission infection. Therefore, it is now important for everybody to be very cautious of the fact that the virus is found in human being, and you have to take all necessary measures, precautions to keep yourself safe and keep others safe as well. Now, what do? We have to prevent the transmission, especially among the healthcare workers, the close contacts, people that are traveling from another country to another. In so many countries, it happens. Few months ago, when people were traveling from one country to another, they have to undergo what we call quarantine, and that is to prevent the spread. So we have to make sure that they undergo a quarantine of minimum 14 days. It depends at the if the person is infected and the laboratory results, whatever it gives out. So this is very, very important. Human-to-human transmission. Once you have that in our head that it is a virus of human-to-human transmission, then we have to be very, very cautious of wherever we are going, whatever we are doing, whatever we are thinking of, because it may be the next person beside you that is infected. You might be infected as well, and you don't know. Unfortunately, the virus at initial stage does not present symptoms that is, how do I put it? There are symptoms, but what I'm saying is, it is not written on the face that this person is infected. So we have to be very, very careful. Number 2 objective is identify, isolate, and care for patients early, including optimized care for infected patients. Actually, this particular video is for healthcare workers to be informed. I'm talking about people that the frontliners, as well as the policymakers and the general public. But the frontliners should be aware of this strategic response that was designed by WHO, and every other healthcare organization should be informed about that. I'm talking about federal health institutions, state health institutions, primary health institutions, healthcare providers, private, public, wherever they may be. You should know these strategic objectives and should always be at the tip of our fingers. We should always remember that. So as I say on number 2, we have to identify people that are infected. Once they are identified, what do we do next? Isolate. We have to isolate them, just like the common term that we call quarantine. And in fact, in so many other parts of the world, we saw some leaders, when their results were out, what they did, they said they did self-isolation. They are not being selfish. That is the best thing you have to do. Once you know you are infected, you have to keep yourself. You are not keeping yourself to have the best of the treatment, but you are keeping yourself because you want the humanity to continue to exist, and you are trying to lessen the burden of the healthcare workers, because the healthcare workers are so overwhelmed at this period of time. And so once you know you have the case or you have the symptoms, please isolate yourself. Once you isolate yourself, you have the best time to treat yourself and to keep the general populace safe as well. After isolate, what do you do next? Care for the patient early. Early detection is very, very good. Early detection is very important. Once the signs and symptoms are detected early and the test shows a positive, we have to quickly undergo an early treatment. So this could also include providing optimized care for the infected patient. Now the third point is identify and reduce transmission from animal source. Let everybody be aware that it is not only humans that are infected with this virus. It can be contracted from animals. Animals too. Animals too could be infected, not contracted, but animals too could be infected. Though initially the information that was around was that it came from an animal called pangolin in Wuhan, in one of the biggest markets in Wuhan. So that is where the virus came in, and the people in the market were infected. So everybody, I'm talking about people that have animals in their house, you should be very, very cautious, and you should be very, very careful. Animals too could be infected. Some months ago, it was known that in the United States, some animals were infected, especially I think in a zoo. I'm not sure whether it was a tiger or whatever, but an animal was infected with the virus. It means animals too could be contracted. So if you have animal, you have to be very careful, because you have to identify and reduce the transmission from animals. So meaning that animals that are infected can be a source of transmission to others, to human beings. So we have to identify those animals so that the proper thing should be done. The fourth objective, number 4, is that address crucial unknowns regarding clinical severity, extent of transmission and infection, treatment option, and accelerate the development of diagnostic, therapeutic, and vaccines. We all know that presently there is no specific treatment for the COVID, and globally, I'm talking about all these big nations and the big pharmaceutical companies. They are working day in, day out. The scientists, the epidemiologists, working day in, day out to establish the best of the vaccine. There are so many trials that is going on with the vaccines, but presently there is no conclusion or an evidence base that this is the best of the treatment. So that is why knowledge is ongoing, findings is ongoing, investigations is ongoing, so as to develop the diagnostic and therapeutic as well as the vaccines for the treatment. Number 5, communicate critical risk and event information to all communities and counter misinformation. This is where I have to be very frank with you. COVID-19 is real. It is with us, and it's going to be with us for some times. And everybody, all of us, we have to be informed. We have to carry the information all around to every population. Everybody should be informed about the fact that there is a novel corona that is known as coronavirus, and everybody should be informed about the signs and symptoms, the causes, the mode of transmissions, and what are the best ways to keep ones safe and others. So health information is very crucial at this particular time. So we have to communicate, and the healthcare worker have to communicate the critical risk and events information to all communities, the do's and the don'ts. If you do this may be likely the implication, but if you don't do it, this may be the end product. So, and all the counter misinformation, fake news is around. So healthcare workers will have to go around and counter the misinformation to allay the fear of people. At this time, some people it might be an opportunity for them to gain a lot of things that they want to gain. I don't know, be personally to them, but we have to make sure that we give counter. All this misinformation should be counter, and it is information is power. information is power, and people need to be well informed about this virus. Lastly, which is number 6, minimize social economic impact through multi-sectoral partnership. So it means that it is a joint effort, that the only way to deal with this virus is through or via joint effort, and that is why you can see even all the world economy or world class country, they are working hand in hand together, their government, the pharmaceutical companies, the scientists, so as to reach a conclusion that is best in forms of treatment. So we have to minimize the social impact, and we have to minimize the economic impact. So partnership, you have to come in, all these international donors. It shows that the government cannot do it all alone, so we have to rally around together and do what is best for human existence. So these are the 6 cardinal objectives that were highlighted in this document, and I think it is very essential for me to share it with you so that you'll be well informed. I'll take it once again for the last time. Interrupt human-to-human transmission, including reducing secondary infections among close contact and healthcare workers, preventing transmission amplification events, and further preventing international spread. Number 2, identify, isolate, and care for patients, including providing optimized care for infected patients. Number 3, identify and reduce transmission from the animal source. Number 4, address crucial unknowns regarding clinical severity, extent of transmission and infection, treatment options, and accelerate the development of diagnostic, therapeutic, and vaccines. Number 5, communicate critical risk and event information to all communities and counter information. Number 6, which is the last, minimize social and economic impact through multi-sectoral partnerships. So these are the 6 strategic objectives designed, highlighted, formulated by World Healthcare Organization, and I believe it is very, very useful for all of us to go through them, study them, and go over and all over again, so that we can have a solid socio-economic country globally, and the spread of the virus will be reduced drastically. Thank you for watching.